Hi guys, if there's anybody there. Okay, I gotta go get some water and I'll be right back. Let me mute this thing real quick. Okay, I'll be right back. I just gotta get some water. You'll hear the blender. Hi guys, how's it going? Oh my goodness. So I'm super addicted to crushed ice. Does anybody have that same addiction? And I've been trying for forever. Hi, Annabelle Lee. I just want you to know I actually totally forgot about shipping your journal to you, but I got it labeled and stuff today, so it's going out priority tomorrow. I know, and I can't chew ice because it hurts my teeth, and well, what teeth I have left. Anyway, so I've been looking for an ice crusher, and I almost bought a new refrigerator just so I could have crushed ice. But then I was buying all these different ice crushers on like from eBay and stuff. I bought like 4 or 5 different ones, like vintage ones, and found one that worked pretty good, and then I broke it and blah blah blah. Anyway, finally decided the best way to crush ice is just water and ice in the blender. So now I'm completely addicted to it. I just like swallowing it, the the ice without chewing it. Anyway, how you guys doing? Oh, you thought I was making margaritas? Yeah, no. No more margaritas for me. Anyway, so, oh my goodness. So I have all these journals that have all these covers that I had put together quite a while ago. Um, like maybe even a couple years ago. And some of them are like old school books, like vintage um, readers, you know. And I've actually made a bunch of completed journals out of this kind of like collection of readers that I had. And these were the ones that I don't remember why I didn't use these ones at the time, but I think I had like 14 of them or something like that I was making. And so these were the ones that I just kind of set aside, and I thought, well, I'll just do these later, you know. So all different types of books actually. So some of them are readers. This one's just a book of etiquette, what to do, what to say, what to write, what to wear. I thought that was a great cover for a journal. And then there's this one. This is a electronics textbook. Thought it was pretty cool. So when I had these books, I thought they were a little bit too narrow to make into like a journal, you know. Well, I mean, they wouldn't have been too narrow, but I wanted them to be a little bit thicker. So I was able to, add to the spine and just kind of salvaged part of the spine, and because I liked the spine on all of these, and I didn't want to, just throw it away. So I just wound up kind of gluing it on. And then I don't know if anybody remembers, I did a video a long time ago about like widening a thinner spine, in different ways that you can do that. So there's this one too. This one I actually stitched around the border of the cover. This one I tried to, but I broke a needle so many times that I just gave up on it. There's a couple other ones. So there's this one. This is a French grammar book. So this was the original width of the book. See, it's, I mean, even narrower than that. It was maybe like 1/2 inch. And then this one too. See, I had to stop stitching because I just kept breaking needles. Anyway, so there's those. And then I have these two. There's an Alice in Wonderland. This one was like from 1926 or 27, something like that. So I was able to stitch around the edges on this one. Like this one has a ring, someone setting a cup or something on it. And then also through the looking glass. So yeah, I've had these for quite a while, and they were smaller than the rest of these books. So, they just kept getting put to the side, but I decided, no, I'm just going to pull pages for all these journals and I'll just trim these down. So that's what I wound up doing. Anyway, so I've got the I haven't made any journals for, gosh, like, I don't know, it's been 3 or 4 months, I know I'm looking at the chat now. Sorry, guys, I haven't really looked at it. Hi, all you guys. I know it has been a million years, huh, Josie? Okay. So most of them are 5 signatures. And I just put these together pretty much the same way that I do most of my journals, where I use some coffee dyed paper, some graph paper, some ledger, some envelopes, tea dyed paper, that kind of stuff. And of course, a little bit of scrapbook paper. I always do like each signature kind of like a little pamphlet sort of style with a piece of like cardstock on the outside of each signature. So where I'm at now, before I start stitching these together, is I want to add tabs. I want to add tabs onto each one of the signatures. So, hi Gigi. So I thought I would just kind of work on that as we're sitting here hanging out. I think I'm going to do these journals somewhat. What do I want to say? I want to do them kind of naked in a way. Like I don't want to add a whole bunch of. I think I'll just put the journals together, and then I'll just make like a packet of like ephemera and stuff like that you can add into your journal. So I'm hoping I can have these done within the next, I would say, 4 or 5 days, something like that. So when I put these together, this little one, I wound up just folding in the edges. And so I don't really like putting a tab. Okay, here's what I'm trying to say. So it's hard to put a tab on something that is going to get opened up. But I think what I'll do is just glue these on, and then I'll go ahead and stitch these closed. So it won't really matter that I have a tab attached on there. I think I'll glue them together, and then I'll go back and do all of my stitching. You know what I'm saying. I picked up a couple more tab punches recently. So I have this one. This is the We Are Memory Keep. No, not We Are Memory Keepers. This is who makes these? Who makes these, you guys? Somebody tell me. I can't remember. Stampin' Up. Anyway, so I have this one, which is really cool. And then I got this one off of eBay, and I like this one, but they stick out pretty far, so I don't tend to use them that much, but I do like this one. And then I found this one too. This is a EK Success. And I'll see if I can find these, at least this one. I think this one you can find on Amazon. I know that, I don't know if you can find this one. I don't think you can find this one on Amazon, but for sure on eBay. And this one I bought on eBay a long time ago too. And I try to really take care of it because they don't make these anymore, and they're really expensive to buy on eBay. How many pages do my signatures have? You know, they always vary. I just basically go by, I try to just make them as equal as I can. Like, I try to just judge by the thickness of each signature, because sometimes I've got really thick paper in one signature that isn't in another one. And so I really don't count the number of pages usually. I just go by like how thick it is. And what I do is like I'll have my cover pretty much how I want it, and then I start pulling paper, and then I start pulling paper from all kinds of different books and pads of paper and scrapbook paper and stuff like that, and then I'll cut it down to the general size. If I'm doing like different size journals at one time, like I try to make all of my journals that I'm working on in a series the same size, because that just makes things easier. But if I have some that are smaller and some that are larger, I'll just go with like the middle size. Anyway, so I just cut down all the papers, and then I start putting together you know, just stacks of folded pages. I have a series of videos on my channel that just kind of goes through like my whole process, and it really hasn't changed, you know, since I did that. But I just put together enough papers without assembling the signatures. I just put together a stack of papers, and then I put them in the cover and see if I feel like that's enough paper. You know what I mean? And then I try to leave a little bit of space for adding, you know, tags and that kind of stuff. So, you know, about like that. And then I'll split it up, and then I'll split that stack up into my signatures. So, does that make sense? I don't know if that makes any sense, but so I'm just gonna kind of tack these down. I'm gonna come back and sew these on with the sewing machine, but I want them to be sort of glued down already. Just reading the comments. Is anybody interested in a stack of little golden books? I've got about, I think I have like 9 of them, 8 or 9 of them that are some kind of cool ones, the older ones. They're all in pretty good shape. If you're interested in seeing what I have, send me an email and I'll, oh, I should have glued this one down first. This is the only one of these journals where putting the tabs on is going to be kind of a pain, because it's the only one where I've got these folded in like this on both sides. So I'm just kind of eyeballing where I'm putting the tab. The next one I'm going to try to put kind of in that area. So now I'm going to glue this down. So what are you guys working on? Are you guys working on anything? Thanks for coming to hang out with me, by the way, you guys. I wasn't sure if anybody would even remember me. I've been gone for quite a while. I'm not really gone, but you know. I might come back and add eyelets. I like to put eyelets on my tabs. Like sometimes I'll just put one like right here on the tab, or maybe, you know, the top and bottom right here. And that just kind of makes a nice place for people to add a charm later if they want to, or for me to add a charm if I feel like doing that. Oh, I love you too, Josie. I do love you guys. I think I probably have just been maybe a little burnout, if you know what I mean. And I'm kind of stubborn. You know, when I first started my channel, I remember certain people saying, you know, you should start doing other things too, like you should start doing classes on like Teachable or you know something like that, because eventually you're going to get burned out. And I always thought, well, that's pretty negative. Like, you know, why would you just assume that I'm going to get burnt out? And maybe you'll get burnt out, but how do you know I'll get burnt out, you know? And and I thought, God, I've always loved paper and I've always loved glue. I've always loved cutting paper. So how could I possibly get burnt out, you know? But I guess maybe you do after a while. And so, but I can't resist paper and gluing and cutting paper and all of that. So I don't feel burnout. I'm actually really excited that I'm working on these because these are covers, like I said, that I've just had kind of sitting around waiting for me to get inspired. Anyway, yeah, if anybody is interested in some little golden books, send me a quick email, and like I said, I'll send you some pictures of the ones that I have. There's some that I bought at an antique store over in Seattle quite a while ago, and I bought them for $5 a piece. So that's what I'm asking for them. Yeah, so see on this one, I just have the back part of the signature folded over. Tried to leave the front page available for a tab still. Sometimes I like to put the tabs on the top of the signatures too. That looks kind of cool. Gigi, you're working on your first junk journals ever? How many are you making? That's exciting that you're. Yeah, I was just recharging, Millie. That's what it was. Recharging. That's a good way to put it. Oh, my kitties. Oh my gosh. My kitties. I tell ya. I'm going to get one of those plug-in pheromone things that is supposed to help your cats like chill out. I forget what it's called. I have it in my cart on Amazon. It's called uh, Feel Away. Feel Away multi-cat calming pheromone diffuser for house cats. And it supposedly helps cats that have like anxiety issues and that kind of thing. So, and the reason that I'm gonna try it is because Jimmy, oh my gosh, I don't know what is going on with him, but he like gets these crazy attacks of neediness, like where like he'll walk around the house just meowing like a meowing like a lion out on the savannah or something, and he'll come and like fall at my feet and just meow like in this horrible like forlorn kind of way, like it's hard to explain, but it's like this really deep meowing, and he does it like every day, and I don't understand what it is. And he just like sometimes in the middle of the night at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, he'll start doing that, just walking around the house meowing like a crazy person. And there's also, so there's that, and I just feel like he needs more in his life or something. I don't know. I put up a catio for them so that they can go outside. Like, it's like a big cage that where there's a I put a hole in the wall and put in a cat door and everything, and then built this big, outdoor like pen for them with like shelves and boxes and scratching posts and all this stuff. I mean, it's pretty good size, you know, so that they can actually go outside and be, like even like if it's raining, they can go and just kind of see what rain is. I feel bad for them sometimes that they're cooped up in the house. But anyway, the other thing is and Grasshopper. I don't think they like each other. 22 covers? I don't think they like each other. They fight all the time. They just bicker and argue and fight all the time. So I'm thinking that this thing might just create a little bit more peace in the house. I don't know. Yes, it is amazing, Kay. The only other thing that I want to do for the cats that everybody thinks is ridiculous is I want to get an exercise wheel for them. Um, I've seen them. I've watched videos of people that have them for their cats, and apparently some cats will use them and some won't. You kind of have to teach them how to use it. So I think I'm gonna, at some point when I can find space in the house, um, to put it, I think I'm gonna get them an exercise wheel, even if just one of them uses it, because it's good for them to be able to run. I mean, they always, twice a day, in the morning and in the evening, they get their crazies and they start zooming around the house. And I know it's because they just need to run, they just need exercise. And so kind of hoping that cat wheel will help them. So Gigi, I'm excited about this. 22 covers, huh? What kind of journals are they? Are they like all different kinds of covers? Are they covers you've made, or tell us about them? And do you have an Etsy shop or anything, or? You just do craft fairs. What are you going to do with those journals? Oh, that's the thing about having pets is that, you know, they don't stick around forever, right? So I have this electronics one. I'm thinking trying to put aside some tabs for this one. I just use my scrapbook paper, like scraps, for tabs. There we go. Those will work. Hi, Darla. How you doing? What have you been doing? Are you staying out of trouble? Gigi's making 22 journals, Darla. I will say that, you know, if you're looking for any kind of advice on making 22 journals at one time, which I have done before, just do one step at a time, kind of like what I'm doing here. I think that's one of the best ways to do it. So this one I've got a pocket. Go through them and do one step at a time. And before you start stitching your signatures in, make sure you do anything that, you know, like any like sewing machine work or, you know, anything like that. That's one of the things that I've learned the hard way. You know, I'm always ready to just get the signature stitched in, and then sometimes I regret doing that because there's things that I wanted to later go back and do to some of the pages that you can't really do while it's all sewn together. So. All you do anymore is work. Well, I'm sorry. But you know, at least you're getting that out of the way. You know, eventually you won't have to do that anymore. If you work hard enough now, right? Hmm. Right on. So you're making journals that are truly kind of like junk journals, really, where you're using repurposed stuff, repurposed items, paper and stuff like that to make the journals. It's a big debate, you know, whether or not uh, sometimes what people make are actually junk journals, you know. It's always, and sometimes people get quite heated about it. It can be quite a heated argument. Did any of you guys get this? Get an email from from Your Creative Studio. Have any of you guys subscribed to this thing or not? I know Carla's pretty excited about retirement. She's going to be retiring pretty soon, and then she can just make journals all day. Well, I got an email from this place months ago. It's too expensive. I don't have any idea about the cost at all. But she or he or they sent me an email and asked me if I would be interested in getting a free box of one of their subscription things. And I said, sure. send me one. I don't care, you know. And so they did. How much are they? Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Darla. Oh, that's cool. Walking Dead. Use bubble wrap. Yeah, I was thinking that too. That they buy all of this stuff and then just package it up, like repackage it. Definitely has a Japanese kind of flavor to it. I mean, all the packaging has Japanese writing. Yeah, and I've been seeing a lot of this kind of stuff on even on Amazon lately. Exactly, Kay. That's kind of what I thought. Like, you can find this stuff all over. But some of it's kind of cool, you know. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. But I was just wondering if you guys had heard of this place. This looks like, I know Tracy Fox has used some of these images in one of her digitals. And I know that the images are open source, like, or, you know, but it just came to me. Hi, Sue. Anyway, so yeah, those are definitely familiar images because I know Tracy has used those. But these were kind of cool. All these little order forms or receipts and kind of vintage bills. And then just some decorative papers. Just a little bit of vellum. So, I mean, some of it I think I'll definitely use. I don't think I'll use these plastic stickers though. But anyway. And then there was some stamps. Some little like floral type stamps. And a thing of washi tape. So anyway, I promised that I would show this stuff on a video or whatever. So now I don't feel guilty because I've been feeling guilty that I hadn't done that yet. So anyway, I'll probably split up all of this stuff that's in here in the packets that go in along with these journals, just so I can, you know, use it up. But Hi, Laura. My little Laura. My little alarm clock. Back in the day when I first started live streaming, Laura was my wake up call. She was my reminder. I used to stream twice a week at a specific time, and Laura would always text me, make sure I was awake or I was at the ready. Huh, Laura? Nimber? I know she does. Grabby scrapbooking subscription, zillion things. Yeah, I don't know if I would want to commit to $49 a month. That's kind of a lot. But it's something that I would maybe try like once, like you did. Did you just do it one time? Was it good stuff? Really, Kay? It's so funny. I remember I was actually I have not been on Facebook for so long, you guys. Um but I got a notification that I've been friends with my son for 8 years the other day. Beautiful stuff, huh? Hmm. Well, sometimes it's fun to get those surprise boxes of stuff too, right? Yeah, I don't know. I got too I don't know. I got too caught up in that stuff in Facebook. And there's still the junk journal connections Facebook group that I still am the admin of or whatever. And I haven't even been in there for a couple years at least. Do any of you guys still post in there at all? I was thinking about, you guys know those those collapsible like storage containers that you can buy, and you can, they're collapsible and stackable, and sometimes they have wheels. You guys seen those? Have any of you guys bought any of those? Or has anybody found like a good deal on them? Because I've seen them on Temu, but I was just wondering, like, if anybody's found any good deals on those things, because they seem like they're really expensive. Always looking for storage containers. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm looking for some that are like 30-gallon size or something like that. And I saw some of them on Temu, but they were like $60 or something for a set of 3. I don't know. Anyway. So sometimes before I get everything, one of the things I like to do is I look through the signatures, and where I feel like I have pages that are sticking out a little bit too far, I'll just go ahead and fold them in. Sometimes I fold them in like pretty far, and sometimes just the edges, just the edge of the page. These I don't really like sticking out that far. Those are okay. But see what I mean? I like to at least be able to see these just stick out way too far. But pretty much all of those look okay to me. But these ones are way too far. So yeah, I hope that pheromone thing helps the cats just kind of, I don't know, relax a little bit and not, I don't know, I just feel like they're kind of stressed out. So I do my envelopes. A lot of times I'll do envelopes like this where Carla sent me a bunch of these. Aren't they cool? I'll take my envelope and turn it upside down, fold it in half, and then when you stitch it into the signature, you've got like a pocket right here. And sometimes I'll cut off the ends of the envelope here, and sometimes I'll just cut across the top. On these, I cut across the top, but I don't know if I like how this one's sticking out so far. I guess it's okay. I guess it's not that bad. So anyway, it's that one. So then the other thing I need to do, I'll take a break on these because I really wanted to do some labels. Got a bunch of scraps, not scraps, but pieces of ledger paper that I pulled out to stamp labels onto. And I might do some scrapbook paper too. Stamp labels onto some scrapbook paper. That might need some re-inking. One of my very favorite reds is that Memento Ladybug red. If you are looking for a good red, it's a good one. Hang on, I gotta grab a re-inker. It's blazing red. There's the ladybug. I also really like this blazing red. It's a little bit different tone. So if anybody has not seen these label stamps, these I actually had made by a company on Etsy called Signet Stamps a while ago, a couple years ago. And I'm still using them. I love them. They're like my favorite. So that's the blazing red. I'll compare it to the ladybug red here. I'll use a different stamp so you guys can see. I don't have a big stamp pad for the ladybug. This one is a little bit more, the ladybug red is closer to the actual like Denison label red. So yeah, Signet Stamps, SIGNET stamps, all one word, on Etsy. Thank you, Darla. He also has a couple other stamps that I had ordered from him that I asked him to make for me were a grid paper, just like a grid design, and then also lined for tags, for, you know, for stamping the back of your tags or whatever, or if you just needed like a grid paper, you know, grid design. He's done both of those. I'm gonna try this ladybug, see if I can get it a little bit darker than that. No, I think that's about how it's gonna look. I thought maybe it would be a little darker than that. Of course, I could mix them together. Like I could take some of the ladybug ink and some of the blazing red, mix them together on another pad, and then I could get something sort of in between. Or I could just take the blazing red pad and add some ladybug ink to it if I want to forfeit this pad, but I don't want to. I like these. You can buy these empty ink pads from Ranger. I got these on Amazon. I think they're like $5.99 or $4.99 a piece. And then you can just buy a re-inker. That's what I did. I just bought the empty pad and a re-inker, and it was about the same price as buying a pad of the jet black or whatever. So actually I did that for the ground espresso because I wanted these in archival ink, the ground espresso and the vintage photo in archival ink and not in distress ink. So that's one way you can do that. Anyway, I got to stamp these, but I think I'm going to go more with my blazing red. The blazing red is pretty cool. It's just a nice, kind of a pinkish sort of red, I guess. I really like it. But like I said, the ladybug red is closer to the actual Denison labels. In case you're, wanting that. But you can buy these label stamps individually too. Like you don't have to buy the whole set. I think there's like 9 sizes in the set, something like that. But you can buy just individual sizes too if you want to. I like to do these with embossing ink too. It's kind of cool. I don't do a whole lot of different things with these. Mostly all I do is just make labels on ledger paper. I think there's 2 that are long, thin labels like this. This is one that this was a Tim Holtz set. It came with a set of, what do they call those? Expressions, like happy birthday or, whatever. There was a set of those. There's like 12 or 15 different, what do they call those? What do they call those? Like salutations or whatever. Anyway, and then it comes with this stamp. So I like it because it's kind of grungy. It's got a little bit of a grungy kind of feel to it. Sentiments. Thanks, Laura. And I've seen since I had these stamps made from Signet Stamps, and he asked me if I minded if he could sell them to the general public after I had them made. I mean, I had them made as a custom stamp originally, and then he asked me if I minded if he sold them, and I said, yeah, go ahead. But I mean, I didn't get anything for that. But anyway, I've seen other makers of label stamps since then. I think he also has a circle one now that someone else had designed. Yes, sentiments. Then there's this long, skinny one too. I had to make these big ones too. I love these. These are great to use for like pockets and stuff like that. And I just put them on the back of one of my big wooden stamps that I never use, you know. This is one of my favorite ledger papers to use. I only have like 10 pages left. This is one of my favorite ones to use for labels. I just think it's just super cool. I got this from Louise on Etsy at Forever French a couple years ago again. Let's see. I'm just going to do some black ones, I think. They are really nice people, huh, Deb? Bob um, and then he has another guy that he works with named Bob. So I'm going to do a whole bunch of labels and then finish doing my tabs on the journals. And then I'm going to go back and wherever I need to do any stitching with the sewing machine on any of the pages, I'm going to do that. I'll probably add some little like tuck spots on the sides of some of the pages in the journals, and usually I'll use some labels for that. And I like to do. See, I really don't have that many labels left. See, I like to do the bigger ones on scrapbook paper. Yeah. Yeah, I like to just take like labels like this, like about this size, to use as just like a tuck spot on some of the pages inside the journals. You know, and some of those need to get stitched on. So that's why I need a bunch of labels. I need a lot of labels for these journals because I want to do a lot of, you know, I want to actually put a bunch of them in the journals, and then I also want to give everybody, you know, that buys one, if they buy them. I don't always like to, you know, assume that they're going to sell, but hopefully they'll sell. Anyway, I like to have a nice little stash of things that that I can add in later, you know. And then, you know, I gotta make some charms, and maybe I'll do another live stream. Would you guys like to come and hang out with me again while I'm making charms for these journals? That might be a little bit more fun than this. I used to be really good about having a lot of things made ahead of time for use in journals, but I've kind of, I don't know what it is. I've gotten a little lazy about it. I do have a bunch of things that I've set aside that I intend to use to make some tags for these journals. Here, I'll show you. So I did a whole bunch of these collage, you know, pages or sheets. These are just smaller ones, but see, I just did a bunch of book pages on manila folders. And I'll use these to make tags. This is what I like to do when I'm looking to just get out of my funk, you know. Yes, clusters. So, you know, I probably have, I don't know, 8 or 10 of these that are done. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 big ones, and then some smaller ones. Anyway, so I have those that I've done ahead of time. And then I want to do some fussy cutting of some pages, like some of these flowers. I want to fussy cut some of these. That's one of Darla's favorite things to do is fussy cutting. That's one of the things she always has made ahead of time, huh, Darla? But I also have a bunch of book pages that I've set aside that I just want to very simply glue onto some pieces of just cardstock. You know, just like get as much of the writing in there as I can. And then, you know, I'll trim around the edge of that, maybe around the corners or something. And then just stitch around these, maybe add a tab on the top, and just make some really simple tabs or tags like that. I've just found some book pages that I really love. Like this is like a French science book, like a biology book. So it's got all of these really cool like La Carotte. Anyway, cool illustrations and stuff like that. And then I also had bought this book from Louise. with all of these botanical, they're all fruits. And so I just want to make these into like tags, you know, probably cut these apart and use these to make some really simple tags too. And then I've got a bunch of, you know, fussy cut mushrooms and flowers and things like that. So I'm going to be making some tags to go along with these journals, but really simple too, really simple tags. So nothing, you know, too complicated. So, because I do, you know, I like to include tags with my journals, but, you know. Darla loves fussy cutting. But this is I love illustrated journals, and I love to make tags out of pages from illustrated journals too, or illustrated dictionaries too. So, anyway. Yeah, I have lots and lots of stuff that lots and lots of different books and things like that 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 I want to fussy cut. These are two of this is probably one of my favorite rose books because I love roses. But these two books have amazing images for fussy cutting roses if you like roses. See, aren't they pretty? And they're nice because they're just on these white backgrounds. And it's, you know, you could even just fussy cut the leaves or whatever. Lots of little rose buds, you know. So there's Smith and Honkin, 100 English Roses for the American Garden. And then there's this one. These are old roses for the American Garden. And these have a little bit different style flowers. So, you know, these are more old-fashioned roses. So, aren't they pretty? One of the things I was planning to do with some of these pages too was just collaging some of that collage some like thinner like tissue paper over it. I guess that one won't work, but some thinner like tissue papers or oh, you know, that copy paper that I like with the French writing on it, that really thin, it's almost like, it is, I guess, like tissue paper, but with the script over the top of those, and then use those for some tags. Anyway, I'm just getting off subject. But yeah, would you guys like to do that? Have another little hangout and do while I'm making the terms for these? Because I think I want to make them sort of more like junky. You know what I mean? Like not. I want to use like the dominoes and game pieces and those kinds of things, and Scrabble tiles and stuff like that, and then just other kinds of charms, just real random kind of charms for these. I want to make them sort of junky or chunky and junky, you know. So let's do that. Let's do it like, I don't know, like in a week or so, because that's usually the last thing I do when I'm working on journals. So I'll set it up like the day before, so you guys can see on my channel, and you'll get a notification when I set up the live stream. So this is the vintage photo archival ink. And I like it because it's got all of the qualities of, archival ink, and it won't, it's not like water soluble at all. Did you really? Oh my gosh, Josie, that's so cool. You gave her a junk journal? Oh my gosh. What was that all about? How did that happen? I'm sure she did. Oh, really? Oh, that's cool. How fun. Really? Oh my God. That is so cool. My mom watches that show every day. I wonder if she remembers that. I think she. I don't remember if she said anything about it or not, but it's so cool. The junk journals have gotten pretty popular, over the last several years. I mean, anytime you're seeing them on when something that's normally handcrafted, and you start seeing them on Amazon, they're getting popular. Oh, neat. Oh, I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that, Josie. You're so sweet. Well, tell her if she needs any more journals, she should check out my Etsy shop in about a week. Oh. Okay, yeah, like I said before, I haven't checked on the Facebook group for so long. I mean, seriously. For so long. I just get sucked into it, and then I can't seem to get out of it. And before you know it, there I am looking at my phone again all day long. Yeah. That would be pretty awesome. I'm sure that made you feel really good. I felt like that when who was it? Well, I had a journal that was published in Greencraft a long time ago, about 4 or 5 years ago. And I was just like, wow, that was so cool to be. I know I felt like a little famous, you know what I mean? Anyway. All right. Well, I'm going to go get something to eat, you guys, and finish putting these tabs on and stamping out the rest of my labels. And then I think that'll be it for the day. I used to sit, I'd come in to my studio and I would be in here literally for like 16, 18 hours at a time. And I just can't do it anymore. I can do about 4 or 5 hours and then I've gotta do something else, you know. But anyway, I'll let you guys know how that pheromone thing works for the cats. It's not like you know, it's not like drugs or anything. It was just, you know, it's just apparently a pheromone. You still have that green craft? I think that the journal that they showed in the magazine is the one that's like the picture that's on my Etsy shop. I think it's that journal. It's like the main, like the thumbnail on this live stream, I think is that journal. So it was really cool because they picked it off of Etsy and reached out to me and asked me if I would write an article to go along with it and stuff, you know. So I thought that was pretty cool. So anyway, okay, guys, I love you, and I will see you next week. We'll do another little hangout, and you know, for an hour or so, we'll do some charms. Okay, so pull out all your funky, junky, charmy stuff and make some stuff with me. Okay. All right, guys. Love you. Talk to you sooner than later. Stay out of trouble. Okay. Bye, guys.